welcome back to Qweshunga. I am so excited to host you. My name is Sanyu Penelope and I am your beautiful host. If you have questions about the beauty, you need to see Jesus. But I am super duper excited to host you today. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sending all those questions. Thank you for all the things that you do to keep in this space. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. We love you. Thank you for choosing us. Qweshunga is about using play to activate our innovation, to activate our creativity, to heal our souls, to heal our communities. And so we are here to inspire, to play, and to live. So today, we are continuing with our series on relationships and navigating dating in our 30s. Yes, 30-year-olds, what's up? Even the 28-year-olds who are 28 by choice because they refuse to allow that they are 30, I send you sharps. My relationship status right now currently is Qweshunga, so everything else has no question. I am delighted to introduce my very, very wise friend who is going to talk to us about so many dope things about relating, and I do not want to prompt what she's going to say, so I will allow her to introduce herself. I admire her because Vanange, she has twins and I want twins. Anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to Qweshunga Desire. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you for having me. Hi, Qweshunga fans. Oh, it's such an honor to be part of this.
Thank you.
Qweshunga family.
Thank you. I am so excited because you model so many things for me, and so having you sit here next to me and share those things with the people who are watching us means a lot. I know there are people out there saying, "Model so much." Yes, she does. You will attest of her wisdom when we are done with this conversation. Desire, who are you? What do you do for the people who are, of course, they already know you are Nalongo. For people who don't know what Nalongo means in English, it is she's a mother of twinnies. Yeah, twinnies, a set of two. Yes. So, Desire, who are you? What do you do? Why are you questioning with us today?
My name is Desire. I'm a mother of 3 boys, twins who are now 14, and a 7-year-old. I'm a professional travel consultant by training, turned baker. Yes.
This woman bakes delish cake, but the kalango was not paid for, so.
So right now, I am the team leader at Oven Aroma, which is the bakery, and then I am a mother, and I'm a friend, and I'm delighted to be at Qweshunga, and we are going to see what we are going to Qweshunga about.
Interesting. Raising teenagers is a whole other conversation. I think I need to actually do a Qweshunga for mothers of boys so that we figure out how you do this thing. But teenaging and teenage parenting is a special thing. I just want to ask you about your relationship status. I know that I said my relationship status right now is Qweshunga. Okay, not just right now, like it has forever been Qweshunga. So my first and only love is Qweshunga. Is Desire married? Is she single? Is she looking for somebody to hook her? Is she hooking someone? Is she what is happening in Desire's world of
Desire
relationship?
Married.
Marriage. When I hear when I hear marriage, so many things go through my mind. You know, so much has been modeled about marriage for us, and you get this idea in your head that you just arrive at it. You wake up, you see a boy you like or a girl you like, you ask them out, you marry, and everything is good and you're happy. My grandparents were married till death. Of course, my grandfather passed away, but my grandmother always said that I did not make my vows to this man. I made my vows to God and to myself. I made the commitment to myself and to God, and so I am not staying in this marriage for this man. I'm staying for myself. And I know there are so many people out there who have an opinion about that. But how is this thing called marriage? Before we even go to how it is, when did you know, or how did you know you wanted to get married? Because you're married now, I presume you wanted to get married. Oh, but it was our first arranged marriage. So it wasn't a first arranged marriage. How do you know you're ready for marriage? How does anyone out there know they are ready for marriage? Or you never know until you arrive. It's one of those things like school.
That is quite the question now that I think about it. I don't think, personally, I don't think I was ready for marriage. I don't think I was prepped for marriage. I think I was just, it happened to me. Events, one followed another,
Yes.
and it felt like it was just the right thing to do. But I think there is such an ill preparation for marriage, and it's because probably the people before us have also gotten information from the people before them. It's more like you're walking into a
trap. Okay, not a trap, but you see, my ideas on marriage are really skewed. But
imagine you're walking into, say, you're moving from one realm, so to speak, into another, and the people you find at the entrance are then telling you what you're going to find there. So it's like, while you were on the outside, you had an idea. Then as you're walking in, they give you their idea. Then when you walk in,
there's a whole totally different
you discover something
picture.
Different altogether.
Oh dear.
I think there is very, 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 very much, there's very, very ill preparation based on society, culture, religion. It's just so many little things. And yet, in my thinking, marriage should be two friends coming together to do life and bring forth a family if God blesses them with children, and then being part of community.
So these are, you talked about ill preparation, and of course I am very conscious of the fact that you can't really be prepared. I know that, but so I have so many questions running through my mind right now, and I am trying to figure out how to ask all of them so that we can all benefit from what she's talking about. So one, you've met this person. You've not lived with this person for what, 20 plus years? Because I presume you got married like at 27. So 27-year-old, you're meeting maybe another 27-year-old or older or younger. You've spent your lives living totally different values, totally different upbringing, totally different things. And now, because you're in love, the one thing that's bringing you together is love. You're in love, your hearts are beating for one another, and you're excited. The ceremony is over, and now you're stuck together at home. Okay, not stuck. You are together at home. And you're beginning to discover, what? This is how you do things. This is what you say. This is how, like, totally different value system, maybe totally different ways of doing things. How do you restrain yourself from murdering someone's child? Because I know that it takes a lot of restraint. How do you hold yourself together and learn to compromise, and compromise without selling yourself short? How do you adjust to the new way, to the new transition? How did you do that? For you, how did you work through that transition from being the only girl, pampered, loved, cared for, and here you are now, you have to take care of someone, pamper them, love them? Talk about that transition.
I think because I am a talker, I address issues. So I kept addressing the things. Whatever was weird, I attempted to talk about. But remember that as you go through that gate, you're reminded not to be a nagging wife.
Yes. So as you open your mouth,
now,
don't send your husband on the rooftop.
Should I address it again, or now can I do it for myself?
Yeah.
Or can I ignore it?
Yeah.
Or do I pretend it doesn't exist? So I constantly found myself in that balance. Do I address it? But the last time I addressed it, it wasn't dealt with.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm impatient?
Do I find another channel?
Can I try another way of bringing it up? But I'm a talker. And because I know that we're here to do life together, and if we're going to do life together, I might as well tell you what I'm experiencing from your side, and then wait and hope that you will listen, and actually, if it needs to be improved, we improve it. If you also need to tell me your side of the story, you tell me your side of the story. Now, the person I'm married to is not a talker. They listen, joke about
so
the
you look
issue.
like you're poking them all the time.
They listen, joke about it.
Yeah.
Issue not solved. Yeah. So it was the early days were difficult.
And you know, thank you for even saying that, because so many people get into so I am married to this very patient man, and he loves me so dearly. I'm practicing. Yeah. And our first year of marriage was really so dope. We had no quarrels, no fights, no Bambi, please don't take me seriously. This is me practicing my marriage speech for my friends out there. Anyway. Desire.
Yeah.
But people say these things like first year of marriage. No, it was honeymoon all through. I'm glad that you say that the first year of marriage was not as glossy as people paint the picture to be. And that could have been for so many reasons, but admitting it frees somebody out there to say, okay, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one whose navigation of this relationship is not going as perfectly as I can. You talked about preparation. What things, because today we have singers, we have coaches, we have friends who are experts at marriage, we have pastors, we have marriage counseling. People go to church and get all these books and read. And so I feel like there's a bit of preparation. When you say there's not adequate marriage preparation, what does that mean?
I think most people start culturally. The girls are prepared for marriage, and it's subtle. It just looks like the natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Once I was talking to a friend who said her daughter walked into the sitting room holding a glass, and I think the father said, "Is that how you're going to serve your husband?" And the mother was like, "No,
but I'm not serving my husband
preparing
now.
a wife."
Like,
yeah, the mother was like, "I'm not preparing her to be a wife." But you see, if you look back, they'll say so many things to you. Is that how you're going to be ironing your husband's clothes? Is that how you'll be making the bed when you're married?
Yeah.
So it's like there are those little
constantly
things
the subtle things telling
yes.
you to be
So
ready.
you find that the girl, for some reason, is prepared to be the cook, the housekeeper, the laundry machine,
all these things,
everything.
All the work is on your head.
And then somehow the boy is being allowed to live his life until a certain point they say, "But when are you bringing us a girl?"
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
But the real preparation you're talking about with singers, with the church, when the person says we are going to get married and they have like 3 months to the wedding, is when they start going through crash course.
So it's not
do this.
So wait. You're saying that if I hear you correctly, the ideal thing would be if I identify desire. This is the girl I love. I want to marry her. She's beautiful. She fits my profile. People have profiles. She fits my profile and she's the one I want. Then I should immediately, the time I have identified her and asked her out, and we have said we are dating, even before I proposed to her, we should start preparing ourselves to be together. Okay, because I know that people do marriage counseling for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and all of a sudden you're prepared to manage finances together, you're prepared to live together, you're prepared to do all these things together, and it can be very, very complicated, especially if your personalities are totally wow. Okay, so please go on. You were still, when I interrupted, you were still telling us about,
The preparation.
the preparation.
I had the privilege, because I'm really passionate about marriage. Oh God, I love marriage, because I believe everything made by God
It's
is beautiful, and marriage was is one of them. So I was listening to a sermon by Miles Munro, Dan Paston, and he said something about, and he quotes from the Bible and says, a house, I think, by wisdom a house is built, and by knowledge something like that. And he says the problem is we don't have the knowledge. Because husbands are supposed to live with their wives with knowledge.
With knowledge, yes.
And he says, because we don't know, because even the Bible quotes and says, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we don't know how to live with each other.
Yeah.
Actually, in that sermon, he says, you're complaining that
totally
your wife,
don't.
woman, you're complaining that your husband is something, but it's because he doesn't know how to live with you.
Yeah.
So I think that ill preparation, we are not taught how to know these people and live with them.
I had an interesting thing, I think yesterday. I think it was Apostle Grace Luega from Fanero, who was saying something in the regard to, if your husband is not listening to you, then you're probably talking to the wrong person. Because your husband should submit to somebody, and that submission is to God. So if God directs the heart of a king, he should direct the heart of your husband. So if you're talking to if you're talking to God about your husband should listen to you. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
I shall just say okay. So it's those things that, and you bring in the issue of communication, you bring in the issue of preparing to know the person, because we operate from a place of knowledge and understanding, even as we relate with our people. We don't take time to know ourselves beyond the sexual desire, because I think that some people marry for sex. Honestly, that is it. Like, I just want to legalize this. I want to have it without my eyes turning and anybody telling me that I am having sex out of wedlock. So let's tie this knot and I can have sex legally, but I don't want anything to do with this space. I'm not getting to know the person. I'm not loving them. I'm not growing with them. I'm not... let's go back to your before marriage time. Because I think marriage is its own thing. Dating. So people date for so many reasons, and I know that you dated for different reasons, even for yourself. But what key things should someone look out for? Because I know that when we are dating, we see certain things that people have called red flags, and I want you to talk about those flags. What things do you see and ignore? Do people often see and ignore that end up hurting the long-term relationship, which has probably ended up in marriage? What are those things? What are those things that we probably should be on the lookout for?
I think first and foremost, I think for me most importantly, is that you need to marry your friend. It is important. When I look back now, when I look at my friends, I know that when someone is my friend, I'm kind to them. I'm empathetic. I care. I look out for them. If say they are running late for an appointment, I'm not going to I'm not going to lose it and go like, what happened? Instead, I'm thinking, I hope they're well. I hope something didn't go wrong.
And it's not like your friend to do certain. You know their hearts. Yes.
On the flip side, when people are dating, it's like they've told them, when you're looking for a husband or you're looking for a wife, like you said, a profile. Find this, find the other, find the other. So you
tick the boxes.
Yes. So you're ticking off the box, but this person is not your friend. So you find it so easy to fault them. You get so mad at them. And I think I think for me that's the main thing. And yet remember, back in the day they would say don't marry from your circle of friends.
Yeah.
But now when I look back, I think
got
it's
to be your
important that the
friend.
person should be
Yeah.
your friend.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I was having a conversation a few days ago about how we see people, and there are things that I know because I love desire, and love sometimes is not even enough, because I know desire. It goes back to that knowledge. It's not, it's beyond the love, because I know desire. I know that when she said, Penny, you're being childish, it came from a place of love.
Yes.
It's not from a place of malice, because I know. So then it's very easy for me to not get a grudge with you, because I'm not saying these things to hurt you. I'm saying these things either from a place of ignorance or me being misled, but there's love at the bottom of it, and I know that. So please, people, marry your friendies. Yes, look in your friend's circle. And those people that are your friends are the ones that you ought to marry. I want us to wrap this up, but before we wrap it up, what are the things that you would advise a young person getting into a relationship? Of course, you've already said marry your friend or know your friend, find knowledge, seek knowledge, get to know people. But what tips would you give to someone who's getting into a relationship, starting a relationship, waiting to shoot their shot, scared of shooting the shot, looking at this person and saying, you're the one, but I am still planning for you? Yes.
My constant go-to, I tell people, is, they say people know what they don't want, but very few people know what they want.
And what they want.
Yes. So what do you think are your non-negotiables? Because that's where you need to start. What are your non-negotiables? What are the things you think,
I can't cross this line?
Yes, let's not cross this line, because so many of us walk in, you don't know what you don't want, and then
so
if the
someone
thing
else
happens,
is deciding the agenda for you.
If the thing happens, then you run to your friends, but this happened, but then this happened, but if he's paying for this, you can ignore that. But as you ignore that thing right now,
it's
when you start
you.
living with the person, it's going to be magnified, because it's in your face every day of every week. So I think knowing what you want is very important. Away from what the guys, a friend of mine calls them the keepers of the gates. Away from what the keepers of the gates are telling you, is he doing this, is he doing the other? What do you want? Because I know of many people that actually walk down the aisle and they're thinking, but
am I really doing the right thing? Even to the last minute.
Even to the the person's like, but did I really make the right? So know what you want. Know what you want, and then have conversation. Let's have conversations.
Talk about things.
People don't talk about finances. People don't talk about how many children they want to have, or if they even want to have children in the marriage.
Yes, at all.
So the man says, when they have the first child, he says, don't have another one. She's saying, I wanted 5. Then she has the second one, and then it puts a strain on the marriage. And I didn't want. So let's
and you
have
begin
that
to both sneak around.
Yes.
And
I think we need to have the difficult conversations.
Before.
Know your values, because someone's honesty may not be your honesty. Some people have so many gray areas.
That's true.
So no, when the person says integrity, what do they mean? When they say honesty, what do they mean? Yes. Know those things. Talk about the basics. I know of a friend whose husband, because I think his mother used to run a restaurant, he's the pro when it comes to market shopping. So he does the market and and she does the supermarket. So know your strengths.
Grocery person.
Yes, know your strengths. Because the assumption is the woman is the one who should buy the tomatoes, the woman is the one who should do this. But know your strengths. And then, while you're using other couples as a mirror, don't clone yourself into them, because you're two different individuals. So know what your family, what are your ideals as a couple? Yes, what are you guys standing on?
Built on.
Because someone else's values may be, I want my wife to cook my food all the time, and she's willing
to. You have to open the door for me all the time.
And then there's another one.
Putting someone on gunpoint to open the door for you every day.
So just know know what you want, and be open about it.
I love that. I love that. Know your person, know yourself, know what you want, communicate it, and don't clone other people's relationships as your own. You need to learn to build your own thing, build your own foundation. You can copy a few things here and there, but build your own foundation. Desire, finally. I know that when you were saying that sometimes we don't know the people that we are getting to marry, we don't know. You just walk into the thing and that is it. If I can't communicate to my person, do you advise a third party coming into the relationship? And what does that look like? Why am I asking that? I know you're Christian, and I'm not going to even ask you this. I had wanted to ask if you are a proponent of people living together before they get married, but I know that will be a whole long conversation. It will be a whole conversation. So I don't know this person. I have now moved in with them. We are married and things are not working out quite. Are there spaces? Are there people? Are there, I don't know, friends that you can just go to and talk to? Because I've also been in a relationship where the person used to tell me that if you tell someone else what's happening between us, you're violating our privacy. So at what point do you know to bring in someone into the relationship? At what point do you know that it's going overboard? At what point do you seek help?
I think first and foremost, you need to know whether your partner listens to people. Because there's meeting someone with chitwe. I don't even know how to break that
my
down.
Own person.
But they won't listen, they don't respect people. There is that. But I think, because no one does life alone, that's why we're in community. I think when you feel it's falling apart, when you feel you can't hold a particular thing, I think it's important that you seek help from a trusted person, a person that whose values you probably both esteem.
Look up to, yes.
Sit down with that person and talk to them and listen to what they have to say. Sometimes it's not that they'll even give you advice. Sometimes it's just listening to someone else's perspective and you go like, oh, it's not actually as bad as I thought it was. Sometimes it's just listening
hearing a different perspective.
Yes. So I think it's important that people seek help. I think it is important. Very
community and I want to close this conversation here on community. It is very, very important to find that circle that holds you together, that hems you in, and don't wait for things to go crazy for you to find that community. You can have a community even when things are want.
It's very important.
Yeah. When things go wrong, they know where to start. The knowledge that Desire talked about, know people, know yourself, know your partner, know the people that you're bringing into your space, your marriage, your dating, your relationship, so that they can be able to advise you well and hem you in and help you prosper. The Bible talks about some people planting seed, others watering, and others doing other things. It's the same thing, I think, with relationships. We are planting a seed together. There are people who will come and trim a few things off. There are some who will prune and guide and help us to remain firm and grounded. But all in all, we need knowledge, we need understanding, and we must speak from a place of love and endearment and care and communication, and it has become certainly clear to me that I am not yet ready for marriage. Thank you so much for watching Qweshunga. I shall see you next time.